Hi there, and welcome to the online edition of the Canadian Country Spotlight. I'm honored to be your online guy, Pete Walker, and today you're going to hear the music, the words, the wisdom of our spotlight artist, British Columbia native Dallas Smith. The interview was conducted by yours truly and touched on many highlights of Dallas's career, including his work with his group Default and his recent solo country efforts as well. It is Dallas Smith time here on the Canadian Country Spotlight.
So just give me some background info and a little bit of a story on the song Somebody Somewhere.
It was a song that Rodney Clausen had presented to us, and the chorus hook line really grabbed us lyrically to Somebody Somewhere, the line there, and put it on the album. But it wasn't really one that we had pegged for, oh wow, this one could be first single, this could be a single period. We just kind of liked the song, and we had other ones in mind. And as the album progressed and started layering stuff on, and the song really came to light, and at the last minute Universal just said, that's your first single, right at the last minute. So all right, cool. And I think they picked a good one. I'm happy the way it went, really. So. Okay,
the song If It Gets You Where You Want to Go.
It's also a Rodney Clausen song. I wanted to have a lot of fun, upbeat songs on my debut country record and give me some fun stuff to play in the festivals. And that song, when he presented that one to me, that was a no-brainer.
Okay, so give me the 3 or 4 songs and some stories behind those tunes that are off that new album.
Okay, well, there's a title track, Jumped Right In. It was one of the first songs that Joey and I worked on vocally. And I came into the studio. I've been in the studio with Joey before, and I've done a lot of hours in the vocal booth. And I came in there knowing the words and knowing the melody and thinking I could just rip it off and get it done. But he showed me otherwise, and he sent me home a couple times. He was explaining to me what I needed to do that I wasn't doing in my previous projects, and just the emoting and acting out the lyrics through how your voice is sounding. And he sent me home a couple times, and it was a very, very frustrating and humbling process. But through that, I came back and figured out how the rest of the record was going to sound and how I was going to sound as a country singer moving forward. So that's one of my favorite songs on the record. I just named the record after that song, and I think just the title just suited the whole experience for me. Is just that leap of faith and just jumping right into it and going where it takes you.
Okay, give me another one.
There's a song on the record that I co-wrote with Danny Orton and Jen Schott and Joey Moy. It was the first song that I had worked on with anybody down in Nashville. It's called And Then Some. And it was there's a song developed, and the cool story behind that one is the second verse, we rewrote it. I got engaged sort of during the recording process of the record, and that song, the lyrically, just seemed to really fit to how I felt about my relationship that I'm in, and I rewrote the second verse to match up how I proposed to her. So there's a line, at your mama's house and back in your hometown, and it's kind of the story of how I got engaged. So.
Okay, if you got a couple more, that'd be awesome.
What else got a cool story behind it? I'm drawing a blank of what the hell's on the record. That's not a good start. Yeah, What Kind of Love? Thank you. There's a song called What Kind of Love on the record, and me and Joey co-wrote that one with Zach Malloy, who I had worked with on Default's last record, and he was in the Nixons in a rock band, but he's had a lot of success down there working with Carrie Underwood, and the name of one successful one. We wrote that song with Zach, and he's great. He was working with me before. He kind of understood my range and what melodically we could do, and that was a fun write. we've heard that one could possibly be a single, and I've heard it's a favorite song of a lot of people.
Shotgun?
There's not really any story behind that one.
Any more good kind of writing stories or songs coming out of nowhere kind of thing?
Yeah, there's a song called "Stone Cold Killers," and it's another Rodney Clawson song. And it's a really, really quirky. It's quirky lyrically. It's really cool. Yeah, it's actually my mom's favorite song on the record. And it's called "Stone Cold Killers," and I never would have predicted that's my mom's favorite. But it's a really traditional, lots of banjo in it. It's a very slow, quirky ballad. Yeah, and I don't know why she loves that one. I catch her singing that one all the time. Yeah, it's funny.
Okay, that'll be good for songs.
Okay.
Now I just want to ask you about influences, and like I said, specifically Canadian country influences. Because there's
to be honest, I really didn't. My mom played Reba. My mom played Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah.
Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson, the big like. I remember her playing. Katie Lang, but yeah, I mean I don't really have any.
We can use Katie Lang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
What's that? Any contemporary Canadian guys you like? I like Dean Brody. I really like his Dean. Oh. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you can. Yeah. If there's current ones, I mean, if there was an artist a Canadian artist who kind of lured you towards the genre, you can talk about that as well.
Oh, okay. Well, since I listened to a lot of American country growing up through my mom, and but then once starting this project and the idea of getting this going, I really at that point started listening to Canadian country radio, and one voice that I really gravitated towards was Dean Brody. I think that his what he does with his voice and that kind of the whisper and then going into the full voice. I'm big fan. I've never met Dean. I've never seen him live, but I really dig what he's doing vocally. It's cool.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. I can talk about Aaron too. Yeah, Aaron Pritchett is somebody that we've kind of lived in the same backyard for the last 10 years, and I finally met him at Emerson Drive's golf tournament a couple years back, and we've been buddies since. He's been really nice to me. Any sort of question I have that I kind of need to ask off the record and get an honest opinion about, he's been more than happy to help me out. And we watched a few hockey games. We're fellow Canuck fans, so we complain about Luongo, together. And he's a great guy.
Okay, so obviously you pretty much can tell what my first question is going to be. Why, after having a good history on the rock side of things, why country music?
Producer of this record, Joey Moy, and we worked together on the first Default record. He's the one who brought my demo tape to Chad Kruger, and so we've got a pretty good tie. But as years, even just a couple years into it, we started talking about doing a country record. It's been a better part of a decade talking about doing it. Due to commitments to what I was in with the other guys, it just didn't make sense, and wasn't the right time to do it. And as time progressed, my mom's influence in the countryside has really crept into me, and I started just buying Keith Urban records and Rascal Flat records, and warming up in the back of the bus to those guys, and getting ready for the rock shows. So I kind of just stopped listening to rock radio and just having fun singing the country stuff, and really it's really taken over. I listen to country radio and pretty much country music exclusively now, and yeah. So
as an artist, is this where you are for good? Or, do you see yourself kind of going back and forth, that kind of thing? Or,
as far as making other records with the band, with Default, I can't see it happening. Never say never, of course, but we might get some festival offers as time goes on. It would be a shame to never play those songs with those guys again. I can't see myself turning down if an opportunity came up to play a festival or two, right? But this feels right for me, and I'm wishing I did it earlier. But it is what it is now, and I'm going to roll with this. And this seems to fit how I want to see my life progressing, and it fits where I am in my life now. So.
And so, were you rubbing elbows with the country boys beforehand? Like you said, you're hanging out with Emerson Drive at the golf tournament, doing that, or
a little bit, hanging out with Aaron a bit, and yeah, I've met a lot of people just at the CCMAs last year, and being at the Emerson Drive golf tournament, and I went to Gord Bamford's golf tournament last year, and I've really enjoyed meeting people and meeting radio personalities, and yeah, it's been I haven't come across anybody that I don't like, which is that didn't happen in the rock side of things. So
now, tell me about your kind of first Nashville experience when you got down there.
Yeah, going down to Nashville, you realize how high that bar is set, and they are the best of the best. Writing and the lyrics and the imagery and the players, it's just unbelievable. It's a little intimidating, but I came down there with a couple ideas that and one of them, and then some, it made the record. So having a good first good co-write gave me a bit of confidence, and okay, I can kind of hang down here a little bit, and but it was fun. It was really eye-opening, and everybody's just so nice, and it's such a great community down there. I hope to be down there a lot more.
What kind of songwriter would you say you are? How would you classify yourself as a songwriter?
Lyrics really aren't my strong point. Never have been. I've kind of learned as we've gone on and more writing, I've gotten better at it. But melodically and knowing how to write emotion into a melody is kind of where I come from. And I start with melody first. It's always what I've always done with Default and with all the ideas that I brought down to Nashville.
Any stories behind making the video for Somebody Somewhere?
Somebody Somewhere was the easiest video I've ever made in all the videos that I'd done. Stefano, it was great. It was easy. He set me up, and I came in there halfway in the day when it was pretty much all done. Put me in a couple locations, told me to go through the song a couple times, and that was that. I mean, he knows what he's doing, and didn't put me through a whole lot of crap. Yeah, it was cold that day, so I thank Stefano again for making it quick and painless. But they froze out there all day.
When it comes to being on the stage or being in the studio, which do you prefer?
The studio, it's apples and oranges. The studio is a lot of fun. It can be frustrating. It can be very challenging. It's very rewarding that way, though, once you hear the final product. But taking the songs and playing live that's what I love. Seeing everybody play the song back, sing the song back, whether it be a boardroom of 30 people or a big crowd at like the Orange Bowl or whatever we've done in the past, right? So yeah, and that's really why I focused on getting this to be an upbeat, fun record to translate well to the live show. That was really, really important for me.
So as a country artist now, where do you see yourself in the next kind of little while when it comes to making records and sticking around for a while? I mean, what's kind of in your future?
I really don't know what the future holds for me. It's off to a really great start. Everybody's been really supportive of what I've got going on. I'm just gonna tour as much as I can, and as far as where it goes musically, I'm just gonna kind of figure out where I don't really know how the next record's gonna sound. I don't really know, but I'm just gonna kind of roll with it, kind of what I did with the band, and see where it takes me, and that's that.
How do you approach writing country music songs compared to rock songs?
For me, it's pretty much the same. Just trying to create emotion in the melody, and knowing where my voice sits and where that sweet spot is, and where I can, and then just kind of plug the lyrics in and sit down with some guys who really know how to put the lyric to the emotion in the melody.
Kind of what you said before, though, that it wasn't really a stretch from what you were doing in Default. It was still stories that you were singing.
Yeah, the stuff in Default, the songs that we had were pretty much still the traditional song structure. They weren't. It wasn't anything weird. So I think, and my voice is a little bit more of it's a traditional tone. It's nothing quirky at all. So I think that it translating to country, I think, was an easy thing.
How did you find the? How do I word this? How did you find the reception of? What kind of a reception did you get from your old fans, from your previous life, with the announcement of what you were going to do?
I was expecting a lot of backlash. Well, not a lot, but I was expecting some backlash. But the worst thing that I've come across on Twitter and just what people have said is that love what you're doing, wish you can come back and do another default record. And that's honestly the worst thing I've heard somebody say to me, which is great. I mean, it's really a compliment. Anyways, so yeah, that's the worst.
And how have you found that country fans are different from rock fans? Or are they?
I haven't played a lot of live shows. Well, I just dated the interview right there, but let me start again on that one.
So how do you find country fans are different from rock fans, or are they?
I haven't seen any difference really. I think fans of music are, yeah, especially with default, like I'd said earlier, with it's really not a far stretch, the song structure and stuff. I think there's a lot of fans of what I was doing in my past that are now fans of what I'm doing now. So I think that line's blurred a little bit in my case.
You converted them for us.
Yes. Yep.
How much do you use social media to connect with fans? I'm on it quite a bit, actually. Yeah. I'm interacting on Twitter quite a bit. I do the Facebook thing. I got my own thing there, but yeah, Twitter I'm on quite a bit throughout the day, and I talk with radio PDs about hockey games, and I talk about fans about upcoming shows, and kind of what's going on in day to day as far as my career. And yeah, it's been fun. It's been cool, and I've met actually a lot of people. I get to know them on Twitter before I meet them at events and stuff. It's good. Cool. That's all I got.
I maybe wind down. In terms of touring, obviously with the success of the first single,
yep,
people are going to want to see you. Maybe the record label can help too. Are you going to go do a solo thing, or are you putting a tour band together? And if so, how does that come together? You pick the guys you're going to play with?
Yeah, the band's all put together. I've got a lot of old friends. I've got people that I've toured with in the past. The drummer the ex-drummer from Nickelback, Ryan Vickadall, he's my drummer now. And Scott Cook is playing bass. He engineered the record, so he knows the record inside and out better than anybody does. So he's kind of the music guy. And then Matt Rose, he's a utility guy from a band called The Matinee from Vancouver, in my backyard there. Great guys. And then Darren Savard, he's a lead guitar player, and I've met him a few times at Emerson Drive Golf Tournament and Gord Bamford's tournament, and he's played with Bertan and one more girl, and I've seen him play with them, and I'm like, that guy fits what I think my band looks like. He fits into it, and we played a few shows already, and he's the band's it's going to be exciting to play live. I think it's going to be fun.
And do the country boys get along with the rock guys in the band?
Oh yeah. We all just like to laugh. Everybody just smiles and joking around, and we all get a pretty good twisted sense of humor. So we have a lot of fun. No pranks yet. No pranks yet. But there will be some pranks, I'm sure. And we doing a lot of festivals this year. I'm sure I'll have some by Saskatoon for sure. Yeah.
Well, I wish you all the best. I think it's pretty cool what you've done and where you're going, and I hope you stick around for a while.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank
you.
Hope you enjoyed our visit with Dallas Smith today on the online version of the Canadian Country Spotlight. Don't forget to tune into your local radio station for the lesser edited version of the show. And if your station isn't playing the Canadian Country Spotlight, well, send them an email, give them a call, stand outside their door and pick it until they start airing this program. That would be great. Keep an ear out, too, for our Spotlight Minutes. Upcoming shows include Johnny Reed, the Stellas, and Russell DeCarl. On behalf of everyone here at the Canadian Country Spotlight, thanks so much for listening. I'm Pete Walker.